It can be used for dance, it can be used for drama, it can be used for music, it can be used for composition.
It's something that children can really enjoy using to access music, and it's something they love, and when you see the expression on their faces and when their faces light up for the first time, that they love it. But yes, it can be used as a serious instrument if that's the focus of perhaps the activity that you're doing with them.
My colleagues within the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra use the Soundbeam unit in a very exciting way. They involve participants with perhaps one or two Soundbeams and play their instruments with the Soundbeam players. It's a very, very exciting sound that can be created.
Inspired by the theremin invented in Russia in the 1920s, Soundbeam was originally developed for dancers. Today, it has a more widely established reputation as an exciting and radical new resource in the arts, in therapy, and in education.
In terms of linking use of Soundbeam to the national curriculum, there is a lot of potential, particularly where you're linking with literacy and storytelling, poetry and that sort of thing. And we have suggestions of how you could use poems to sequence sounds, how you could use the sounds in Soundbeam to compose backings or to compose soundscapes to accompany poems and stories.
In schools, it might be with adults, in communities. I've even worked in prisons. So Soundbeam is a really good machine which allows me the opportunity to get people involved in perhaps achieving things musically they wouldn't have achieved before. I wouldn't be able to achieve because they just haven't got the technical prowess on a particular instrument.
Soundbeam can definitely unlock a child's potential. It gives the child a chance to use every part of their ability to access the world.
For some children, they'll be accessing sound in ways they haven't been able to before, and they'll be able to play the harp, for example, with the minimum of movement. And I think the point is it opens music up to children who perhaps might not have had that opportunity or experience before through standard and more conventional instruments.
In special education, for example, Soundbeam is recognised as a key resource in assisting children with disabilities, like Matthew here. Previously very difficult to reach, this is one of his first encounters with Soundbeam. Some months on, he's made the connection between himself and the sound. This newly discovered and joyful experience of agency and control has significant implications for Matthew.
Some children, when they start school, are what we would consider unreachable, specifically when they have complex needs, they have a profound hearing loss and they have severe visual impairment. Where Soundbeam comes in is that it actually allows the child to experiment really with a variety of sounds.
I can't always use flutes, trumpets and guitars and things like that because people perhaps disabled, they may have learning difficulties, but they may want the accessibility of the sound that that instrument creates. Therefore Soundbeams actually gives me that opportunity, that chance to create that sound, and the person that's creating that sound is in control of that sound. And that's the beauty of Soundbeam.
More and more children who are special going on to mainstream sites, I think Soundbeam is a fantastic way of integrating mainstream children and special needs children.
Soundbeam works by using ultrasonic beams and other sensors such as switches to translate physical movements, however small or expansive, into sound. One of the most important functions of the beam is the facility to vary its range. Here's a very short beam. Here's a longer beam. And you can also locate the whole block of sound at any distance up to several meters away from the sensor. This means you can effectively create a large or small performance area depending on the degree of mobility the player is comfortable with. For example, where movement may be very limited, musical performance is still possible using short beams. Here's musician Pete MacPhail working with a child at the Ormerod School in Oxford. And at this dance workshop, held at a school on a large inner-city estate, the beams are set at maximum range, enabling the whole group to contribute to the music. There are several ways in which Soundbeam can be programmed to interpret movement. For example, we can have single notes played one at a time, giving a predictable melodic response. You can also hold the notes to build up sustaining chords. This lady, disaffected and hemiplegic, according to her medical notes, is quite engrossed in her playing. It's this experience of control and of immersion in sound which can be such a powerful therapeutic tool. Another way of playing the beam is to have a continuous run of notes to encourage music making in an improvisational style, such as here at the Cerebral Palsy Association College in Portugal, where Soundbeam is a key feature in this rock band. This is Christopher from Loxheath near Southampton. He normally has a very short attention span and can be a challenging youngster, but here he reveals total concentration, an impressive sense of phrasing and real improvisational skill, an expressive and musical intelligence which was just waiting to be unlocked.
With all of the pre-settings, you can do all sorts of things without ever taking it any further. Although I think the exciting thing about Soundbeam is that you can take it further, and it really does open up a lot of scope for doing all sorts of different things that will enable children to program their own sounds and to use their own sounds and sequence them for composition or performance purposes.
You don't have to be a great technical expert. As long as you know the basics, you can build on that.
Unlike earlier versions, Soundbeam 5 contains a built-in synthesizer. There's also a sampler in the unit. As well as an integrated amplifier and mixer, and a keyboard. Until you feel ready to start producing your own compositions with Soundbeam, there's a wealth of material already programmed into the machine. These presets are organised into 3 groups. Firstly, you can use familiar chord sequences and melodies. Other presets have a more improvisational feel. But it's not just music that's available, and the third collection of presets use Soundbeam's sound effects library to provide a range of theme-based environments. These sound sets all involve different levels of simplicity or complexity. So that the material can be tailored to the level of ability the player has reached. Some are designed as duets or for solo work. Others for larger group activity. The machine also has the potential to be used as a communication device by recording words and phrases using the built-in sampler.
I want a cup of tea. I want to play the drums.
I think one of the reasons I'm such a fan of Soundbeam is that it really opens up music to children who otherwise wouldn't be able to access music.
It enhanced everything I wanted to do with the teaching of the children. And in order to move, to break a sound beam, to encourage movement was an absolutely fantastic thing for them to do.
Did it all by yourself?
I really do feel that one can learn to control the instrument through practice, through involving many, many different participants, and the interaction between live and synthesized sounds is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. We're seeing that a lot in the way music's developing in the 21st century.
Soundbeam provides an immediate and interactive experience to players at any level of ability, whilst at the same time opening up the possibilities of journeys through music and sound which can be as ambitious and adventurous as the player wants. Thousands of users of all ages throughout the world continue to champion the liberating and creative power of Soundbeam.
Well, yes, I've always thought of myself as a frustrated musician, and this allows me to express myself musically.